What is going on, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. Guys, wanted to bring you just a quick recap of the Indiana Pacers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. The Indiana Pacers defeat the Memphis Grizzlies 116 to 110 in a nail biter at the end of the game. The Pacers move on to now win 3 in a row, dating back to just a few days ago, actually. Their start of their win streak was against the 76ers on the 25th. Then they had that close one against the Suns just a few days ago. And now the Pacers handle business against the Memphis Grizzlies. It was pretty much more of a rather slim pickings game here for the Indiana Pacers and Grizzlies. The Indiana Pacers basically used a giant 41-point third quarter to help be able to gain a little bit of a lead on the Memphis Grizzlies. Pacers were only down by 2 going into half, neither team eclipsing 30 points in the first half. And then that third quarter, the Pacers came out hot, 41 points to Memphis's 29. And even with a late surge by the Grizzlies, were not able to quite pull it off. And the Pacers were able to hold on. And like I said, improving to 3 straight. Going over some of the numbers here for the Pacers and Grizzlies today. Leading scorers, Jaren Jackson with 25, shot under 50%, though. Benedict Mathurin with the 24 points off the bench today. He was your leading scorer, shot 9 of 14, so he was much more efficient. Jalen Smith, your leading rebounder with 10. Vince Williams Jr., the leading rebounder for Memphis with 8. Leading assists, Jaren Jackson with 4. And Andrew Nembhard with the 9 assists in this matchup. So it was a great matchup there for the Indiana Pacers in regards to overall numbers. Going over some more of the numbers here. Neither team really stuck out on anything with numbers wise. Field goal percentage, neither team really shot the ball well. Pacers led the way with 49% on the day. So overall, they weren't terrible, but it certainly wasn't. It was far from their best shooting performance. Memphis had a 46% on that one. Both teams shot at the 37% mark from 3. Both teams had double-digit turnovers. Memphis with just a few more. And both teams right at around the same with 44 to 45 rebounds, respectively. So, I mean, when you look at overall, just the pure numbers in that regard, everything is strictly the same. I mean, outside of that, the biggest, just maybe the biggest aspect to this game was the free throw percentage shooting and the assists in the Pacers' favor in this game. The Pacers had 11 more assists in this game and shot over 20% better from the free throw line in this game. So clearly, from an offensive efficiency perspective, the Pacers were just a little bit better than the Memphis Grizzlies. Looking at some of the numbers here for these teams here. Only guy that did not have double-digit points for Memphis was Concher, who had 9 throughout the game, and the only starter that the Indiana Pacers had that did not score double digits was Buddy Hield, who actually had quite possibly his worst game ever as an Indiana Pacer. 19 minutes in this game and shot 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, only 3 points on the day, 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So Buddy Hield definitely did not have a overall great performance had a terrible performance for Indiana. The other thing, Jackson off the bench for Memphis had their leading points with 18. But again, Indiana had two players coming off the bench with double-digit scoring. You had Isaiah Jackson with 10 in this game. And of course, like I mentioned before, Mathurin, who took a lot of Buddy Hield's minutes in this game with 30, shot 9 of 14, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 7 rebounds. Was a fantastic overall game for Mathurin, who had 24 in this game. You love to see that. Smith also with a very handy double-double, 19 points off 10 rebounds. Siakam, another decent game here with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. So you had a little bit of more consistency from the Indiana Pacers. Again, this is a team that we talked about earlier in the week. This is a team that has guys on the bench that can score double digits whenever they want to. And it was another classic performance of they had just one more guy that went off for a little bit more scoring than the rest of that bench did for the opposing team. And that is ultimately one of the biggest reasons why the Indiana Pacers ended up winning this game. This was a very back and forth one, guys. Like I said, the stats overall were very, very comparable to each other. So at the end of the day, it just came down to who was making a few more shots at the end of the game. The Pacers were able to do that, and that's where you get right here. But great to see the Indiana Pacers now with a 3-game win streak over some pretty good teams in the 76ers and the Suns. Yes, the Grizzlies are not that great right now, but the Indiana Pacers, they got maybe their toughest game yet, one of them for sure, and it is against the Boston Celtics in Boston. So that will definitely be a tough one. We will see what happens. That game will be played on Tuesday at 7:30, so that'll be a really fun one. But overall, the Pacers have a semi-decent schedule to look forward to. Hopefully we can get Halliburton to be back here shortly. But you have the Knicks afterwards, who are also playing decent basketball, but you got to be able to handle that one. You got to face the Sacramento Kings again. You got to face the Hornets. You got to face the Rockets. So there's going to be some opportunities here for the Pacers to keep winning some ball games. They can keep doing that. This team's definitely going to be looking on the bright side before they get into All-Star Weekend here within the month. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Again, quick recap here of the Pacers winning 116-110 over the Memphis Grizzlies. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Pacers.